this is where we come down and connect up with Lower Gabrielino. When you see that the brick National Forest sign, you hang a left and start a whole lot of river crossings. The river's deeper than I've seen it on any of these races before, so be aware. So this is going to be Lower Gabrielino. A lot of wet brake squealing you're going to be hearing, so this one totally easy, just keep straight. It's a little slippery, but that's about it. The second one is real deep though. Lots of little fun sidelines, but I'm probably gonna skip most of those because oh my god, brakes. This is the deep one. Here we go. Yeah, that was deep. Up to my knees. Yeah, pretty fun though. Lots of brake squeal. Also my pads, I think, are in need of replacement. This section right here is where I think you're just gonna hop off and walk it. It's doable, but I just think you're better off hopping off and running it because it's weird angles, weird shapes, and then you've got a bunch of slow, awkward rocks. So just get through, I think, through this section here on foot. Pick up right here. For my money, this is the most technical part of Lower Gabrielino. You come in straight off this line here, and I know a lot of times I've gone to the left here because I feel like there's more space there and there's kind of like a pit right there. But I think where my bike is, I think you might be able to squeak through on this line right here and maybe just kind of pre-hop and get over to the dirt there. Even just coming like right across here, like a little on the inside of that, I think could be totally fine. And then I think the rest of it is pretty manageable. Let's see. So you land here, pedaling through here. Yeah, this is all pretty whatever. Stay up on top of this ridge here. And then they removed this stump, which was something you had to go over before, which is kind of fun, but whatever. Oh Lord, there's more. Going so slow into there. Still think that's the best line. But I just don't have any speed yet, which could be a challenge, but also in a long race like this, you don't actually need to hit every line. You know, watching the guys who were leading the race last year, they still were walking sections, but it's like, it's really been pretty washed out. There's a lot of big kind of baby heads coming in, and I think the only real line through here is just like right on the inside here. You go outside, it's shallower, but that little thing, step up, might be hard at the end of the water. So I feel like you just want to bomb right into here, straight across, and just cut hard right and go up through the rocks. This Lower Gab is not the most technical section of the trail for the most part, not super downhilly, but it has some really like rock crawly type moments. You know, do what they had to do to just get through. That line was pretty good. I'm just gonna walk this because weird angle. I think it's just faster. Definitely rideable. I rode it before, but I kind of think on race day, when you're doing 50 plus miles, just make the choices that'll get you through stuff cleanly, safely, and then, you know, when you're riding just for fun of it, try pushing the boundaries a bit. Not that that's like a crazy boundary push. Interesting note from the guy that won it last year. I'll put his name on screen. I forget his name, but thank you for putting a video up about your experience. Pretty useful. Was he did most of the downhill sitting down, which I never really thought about. Yeah, that's definitely the right way through there because you can maintain speed off that little drop. Yeah, that's good. Sweet. That was a pretty good line through there. yeah, so he said he, was sitting for almost all his descending to save his legs, which is maybe a little less fun for the downhills, but totally get it. That's what the climbing is, where this race is where I'm lost, I think, and having the strength to stick with it and not fade has some real value. So I'm trying to ride this. Sorry guys. Very wet brakes, yeah. 2 river crossings so far. I use this just to pump, even though you can jump it, because speed is more important than speed is more important than airtime. And I think generally, these transfer dropper posts, if I ever get a new dropper for this, it won't be a transfer. I don't like how they kind of don't lock in. And I sort of like being able to use variable heights. I like that it's lightweight. I'll say that. Staying seated, it's hard to remember. Great idea. I can totally sense that my legs will really appreciate this. Never even thought of riding the downhill sitting down. And then I think this is the place where the line splits. Yeah. And usually I go to the right line because I think it's a little more fun, but I'm gonna go left because I think it's a little faster. That one's not too bad. A lot more erosion on this trail since last year. I'll point out sections where it's a lot rockier than it has been in the past. Nothing too unmanageable or anything, but it's just good to know. This one, I always try to just ride this way. Thank you. Have a good one.
You too.
Yeah, for the 4th river crossing on this section. There's a lot on the sort of middle Gabrielino section as well. Oops, gotta stay seated. Stay seated. Remember to stay seated. It's a hard one to break my brain of. I'm so used to doing downhill on the bigger bike, and you just would never. I mean, it's so rare that you go downhill and sit. Up here, there's a split. There's a couple little jumps that I would argue is the slower line, but I'm gonna do it because even on big rides, I think just giving yourself a little fun here and there is worth it. I have my mic on, but I forgot to turn it on. That's okay. So noisy. It's crazy. Whoa. That was weird. Just lost balance for a second there. Go up here and stop for 1 second here. Turn my mic on, so hopefully the audio will be a little higher quality now. Mind if I slip by when you have a moment? No worries. Thank you so much. It's just me. one more little like feature, little like hump that you can jump. I kind of like these just like a little bit of a hop, just to give again like a little like. Thank you. Have a good one. It's just me. That right side has some fun jumps, but skipping those in the name of speed. I don't think those two ladies were a fan of me jumping in front of them. Oh well. Try to stay seated through this little mini rock garden. Yep. Again, little sideline there, little sideline to the right. Had some fun stuff, but skipping all that today. And then now, we used to go left here, but now we just continue on straight. And this little line, which was built after the crazy rainstorms and fire and floods and everything that washed out the whole old trail over there, which is back for the most part, but this is just a little smoother, faster, I think. Remember to stay seated as much as possible. Obviously, for technical stuff, you gotta pop up. Poop. Okay, I forget where this line goes. I think. Oh yeah, it goes this way. There we go. That's the stuff that I want to get out of my system before the race. And I think we hook around this wall. Having a hard right. Yeah, hard right around that wall and then straight back across here. I think this is the best bet through here. Yeah, pretty clean. And there's another river crossing coming up. Right. Yeah, that was fun. I always like that one. Every once in a while you get a crowd on that one and kids love it. It's just me. It's just me. Mind if I slip by on the left side? Thank you so much. I'll step on that side here. Thank you very much. It's just me. Oh yeah, flat. You need anything? You have a? Is there? I'm good. You good?
I'm kind of enjoying the walk.
All right. Okay. Have a good time, Dan. From here on out, it's pretty straightforward. The main thing is being hiker aware, because these are shared open trails, not a closed race course. So even during the race, that's the case. So just be aware and be a good trail citizen. Over that little rock's a fun one. This little guy, no reason to hit that, but why not? Got out a little style here and there when you can. Another little jump on the left here that I like to hit just for the fun of it. Morning. It feels so weird sitting down, but I could totally feel how much better my legs would feel if I had done this for the whole race. And it's really not that bad going down and sitting. It'd be really nice to have my dropper at half mast. I feel like for a lot of sections, being like halfway down the dropper is the way to go. And that pretty much is Gabrielino. We're onto the cement, the concrete now, concrete pavement. And yeah, I'll sort of show you the side along JPL as well. Probably get over to where the Flint Canyon Trail starts. Some little side hit. That jump's fun, but not hitting it today. That would not be a race line, I would say, unless you just want to have fun on it, which is totally fair. Paige is, I think, parked next to me. No, not. She's not. I thought she was. I know she's out here with her friend doing a hike. All right, yeah, you hook that corner, have to come out. Don't go straight there. Come down towards JPL, Jet Propulsion Lab, NASA, right there. Then we'll come down this guy, this gate here. And this is just a fast, flat, flowy section. And I usually take the right line here and go up above this cement retaining wall, but I saw during the race, the winners took the low line. So I'm gonna try that right now, see what it looks like. I think it looked faster, to be honest. Yeah, this is it right here. I've never done this trail before, I don't think. It's totally weird because I've rode this trail a ton of times. Yeah, I do think that's faster. And I think I could practice that and gain a little more speed through there. Ooh, garter. Up here is where first year I screwed up the course, and actually my course preview is wrong for just a tiny bit. I do call that out in the video, but or in the comments. But I'm gonna stop my Garmin and take a look at the course map just to make sure I'm doing the right pieces for you. Right here, stop for a second. So my usual way to go when I'm out here is to go that way, because it's kind of more like single track out that way. But the race course goes this way on this fair road here. So don't do what I did. And then when you get to the end of the horse stables, pretty much, you cut up the road again, which is not yet. There. Oh wait, not that. Oops. Not where I meant to go. Whoops, that was wrong again. Sorry about that. Back on fire road. Mistakes were made. Morning. This is it right here. So you cut across this way through the Frisbee golf course. Probably can cut that corner during the race. Shave off a few seconds. Then also, so the other trail someone comes out right here and goes across there, but we don't do that single track. Stay up on this road, and that's where in here somewhere is where the second aid station will be. I missed it my first year, which is my big downfall, because I planned to refill all my water and grab a snack, and I had fried chicken there the first year to get me through the next two big climbs in Cherry Canyon, and then the big one, Verdugo's, which is like 2,000 feet, 4,500 K. And then, let me see, I can check and see what the, I think you're supposed to go around on that road right there, but I actually love this little steps here, so I'm going this way. I don't think you get in trouble if you went this way instead of that way. They're not particularly that different. Oh God, almost went over that. Oh, pointy step is really sticking out. Almost caught my wheel on it. It's been rough. Yeah, I think you're supposed to come down that way on this road. Maybe cut out 100 feet, but out of technical. This is Flint Canyon, which this is one of my favorite bits. I just love that it goes through the neighborhoods and the freeway. It's just one of the coolest parts about LA. It's all those little hidden trails in the city. There's the mountains I was just in. Yeah, it's great. Yeah, the fact that you can go from way deep in the mountains and ride single track all the way to Burbank. So cool. I think it's just part of LA people don't realize exists. This one can be a little crusty, so just be careful in here. A lot of baby heads. Nothing hard about it, just be aware of it. Ooh, it's sketchy. Okay, that's a little scary. Just a little bunch of trails washed out. So just be careful there. Basically, I'm gonna stop this section at the top of this little climb while we get to the next road section that takes you to Cherry Canyon, which is kind of a nice respite after everything. That whole section's pretty great. Nothing super, no super downhill, just a little rolling, very cross country. Where some of the earlier stuff is more downhilly. All right, this is the beginning of Cherry Canyon. I skipped over the Flint Canyon, the end of the Flint Canyon Trail to here, which is just road on Berkshire. I'll put a map up It's only kind of one little section that you gotta figure out, but it's really a pretty flat road that you can just crank on, and recommend it as a good spot to do a little refueling and just sort of get your stuff in order. Morning. So as always, there'll be chapters so you can skip this climb, but it's like 1.2 kilometers, just under a mile, and is kind of like this the whole time, pretty steady, nothing too steep or too extreme. Still a good place to get caught up on your fueling and, I don't know, reapply sunscreen or whatever. But yeah, probably a good thing to skip over, because you see this, you got it. But on the other side, we'll be doing the Glendale Sports Complex, which is a pretty fun trail, and yeah, come back for that. I'll probably put a chapter also on the couple little sections in here in the climb that are interesting, and there's some little like false descents. So, all right, just gonna settle into this climb now. Cherry Canyon, in general, I would say, is a sort of blue-green trail system. There's a couple of slightly more intense chutes and stuff, but it's all pretty chill. I think it really suits short travel mountain bikes and even like gravel bikes and stuff. I've even seen road riders out here on this. It's such hardpack, and all the trails are fun and flowy. If you're a beginner past the point of, you know, being sketched out by dirt, I think you'll enjoy the trails here. They're good development trails, lots of good flow. Owl Trail, which runs right through this valley here, is one of the best. And on the other side is like Ultimate Destinations over here, and then that's the Conservancy on the other side, which is also pretty fun. It's a good XC training loop, those three trails and the climbs in between them. I use it a lot to do multiple laps because I know all the sections and I know I can do sprints and stuff. Oh, it just cleared up suddenly. Morning. Pretty chilly when I left the house, so I'm in long sleeves and long pants. but it suddenly got warm as just the sun burned through the fog. It's okay. Just gotta get through these couple climbs. Good morning. Thank you. It's just me. Okay, so this feels like it's the top of the climb, but it's not. It was if you're going to do Owl Trail, which is just to the left here. If you go down that way, that's Owl Trail. Going up that way connects up with the ultimate destination. Morning. Two more pretty, these are the more, I'd say, intense parts of the climb. That's a little downhill section there, little chute. It's pretty ruddy, so it's not always that fun. You know, I was saying, I think this really suits short travel bikes, and obviously ride whatever you want. There's no shame in it. I started out riding my enduro bike out here because I sort of needed to relearn some skills, and then sort of as I rode it more and more, got more comfortable with the trail, I sort of realized the short suspension, well, all these short travel bikes are so capable now. You can go through a lot of stuff. You may go a little slower through a rock garden, but still, generally, whatever I can do on the big bike, I can do on this bike. Although I have been curious about those more like downcountry oriented sort of trail bike XC hybrids, what that would feel like. Just upping the travel even from 120 to 130, and the geometry a little more descending capable. But I don't know, for something like this, a great descent, I feel like an XC bike is good because there is a lot of climbing. Morning. And this is another false peak, but it's a nice little break. And there's basically it's this climb, then a little false descent on a fire road, one more little climb, and then the trail down to the sports complex, which is pretty fun, very flowy. The only thing is, you know, all this stuff, as always, it's open, and there are hikers and just general other bikers out here and stuff that aren't racing. So we always got to be respectful. Otherwise, these events can't happen. And that would be a bummer. That is basically the end of the climbing for this section. There's still the Verdigos to come, so save some leg. One more little bump right here, but it's pretty chill. And then the false descent, one more little push, then we go down. Stay to the right along here. could probably tell that this time I'm not doing all of this in one ride. I'm doing it over multiple days. Just because I don't feel like I need to do that again until the race. That is not a mandatory thing. I just kind of, you know, when you're out riding, you gotta put a little fun into it sometimes, even when you're racing. Descending on this fire road, for sure sitting down, saving the legs. And I'm just practicing doing that because it's weird. There's the sports complex below us there. And then there's one more little punchy little climb. The faster you come into it, the more you get to not pedal. But you're gonna pedal some, because even at top speed, there's no way you're getting all the way up it. It's about as far as I ever get. Oh man, yeah, it's good. Been, you know, training on the e-bike a lot lately, which I love, as I've said before, for zone 2 training. I think it's just kind of can't be beat, because around here everything's so steep that staying in zone 2, 3, or even like a zone 1 thing is like impossible. But on e-bike you can do it, so I dig that. And I'm always worried though that it's gonna mess up my, like, it's not doing what I think it's doing. It's not training as well. And then when I jump back on this bike, my Scott Spark non-electrified bike, that it'll feel really heavy and difficult. But it doesn't. And I'm still getting, you know, PRs and stuff. So I think, well, I know I'm a big fan of e-bikes. Donk.